Dead End Hip Hop album review. Benny the Butcher, Tana Talk 4. You see, I ain't even had to look at the phone. I ain't even had to look down. Before we get into the review, man, I just want to say thank you for everybody that has been with us for a very long time. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. Also, like this video, man. Benny the Butcher, Griselda, we do a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of their projects. Like this video. Let's get to over 1,000 likes. Also, Dead End Hip Hop merch, man. We haven't been in the merch game for a long time, but we back in the merch game. So make our numbers go up. Support your boys. That's how you can do it. So you can like, comment, and subscribe, but also purchase the merch. We appreciate it, you. You can also become a YouTube member or a Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Get exclusive shit, man. We got shit dropping all the damn time. Y'all see that we are dropping more and more content. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. Benny the Butcher, man. Tana Talk 4. Tana Talk 4.
The sequel to the highly praised Tana Talk 3 that we didn't get a chance to review it, but I think it was in a lot of our lists that year.
Yes, it was on a lot of our lists that year. And this is literally on the heels of Conway, God Don't Make Mistakes. We try not to compare and contrast, but shit, when it's coming from the same camp, it's kind of difficult not to, especially when we're talking about very high tier MCs, if not God tier, if they have not graduated already, which I think they have. The most beautiful thing about both of those projects is that it highlights what both of those artists do the best. Conway is by far the most versatile in the group. And the album, God Don't Make Mistakes, I said that it highlighted how Conway can be introspective, how he can be vulnerable, and it was never soft at the same time, which is very difficult to accomplish. And then we're here at Tana Talk 4 with Benny the Butcher, and it's like he did what he does best. He got you back to that work, bro.
Have to. If you naming this Tana Talk 4, especially after what you did with the last one, you know, my expectations was definitely high. Especially listening, not just the last album, I'm just talking about Tana Talk.
Tana Talk.
It was like
that's something different, Beezy.
Right, it's different.
That's something different.
Following up with that, you better come strong.
And you know what, man? Benny knew what was up. He told y'all, I know what y'all niggas want. Y'all niggas want that Derringer. Y'all niggas want that Alchemist. And he gave it to you. Them the only two producers that produce his whole shit.
Beat Butcher. Some of the joints that Derringer produced, him and Beat Butcher and Derringer co-produced together.
Co-produced. Okay. Yeah. But everybody knows what they want out of a Tana Talk Benny the Butcher project. Mm-hmm. And he overdid himself. Let me just say that. Damn. This is why niggas like Benny the Butcher. Damn. Because he's on that shit where I'm like, look, motherfucker, I realize who the fuck I am. I'm gonna let you know who the fuck I am. This shit starts with Johnny P's Caddy. And also I watched a Genius interview with Benny, and he was like, man, like Westside picked the name of that song.
Westside Gunn, the one who named the song Johnny P's Caddy. You know, that's what he do. He's the curator. He got all these great big ideas and shit. And he remember my pops always had them caddies. Everybody in the neighborhood do. Always had them big shiny Cadillacs, and it was a feeling in the, you know, the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s when him pulling up in that Cadillac. Sometimes my pops used to have the chrome naked lady on one of them joints. Like it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? So just by him naming that, it put me in the frame of mind.
We also did a track review of that song.
We did.
Y'all did.
We did. But the way, look, Benny, this is your album, but J. Cole, goddamn, he did his motherfucking thing on that. That's one of J. Cole's hardest verses ever. Damn. It's top 2. Damn. And I ain't talking 2.
Top 2.
Damn. And I ain't talking 2.
Damn.
But yeah, no, J. Cole did his thing. If you want to know more insights on that, go watch the track review, please. Thank you. Back 2 times with Stove God. God damn, that beat.
I need that Stove God album, man. I need a Stove God album so bad, man.
Did it off the flip phone. Had these cops in here tiptoes.
Heck, dude, man. How are you so good with hooks and your verses?
He's
his hooks
special.
never miss.
No,
his shit never miss.
Never
man.
miss.
Yeah, he up next, bro.
Yeah,
and I love his energy, right? Like Stove God is very an animated trap drug rapper. You know what I'm saying? So with Benny being pretty much monotone to a degree, you know what I'm saying? Not like as far as a Mac Miller, you know, something like that. But the juxtaposition of their energy on that makes it so great. 10 more crack commandments.
I feel like it was a missed opportunity right there.
Talk about it, B.
I like the song. I'm not saying I don't like the song. Should have got Primo in there. I think he should have did that Primo to do the beat. In my opinion, the song still turned out great. Like I'm not dissing the song, y'all. A song that's so iconic with Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments with Primo on the beat. I feel like he should have had Primo do that one. And you know what? You never know. Maybe Primo was shopping him some beats and maybe he just felt the Derringer one spoke to him the most. I don't know. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity. That's just me.
I don't wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Damn.
Even though the commandments make sense, right? Like from 20 down to 11, it makes sense. And it's definitely an addition too. Because when was the original 10 Crack Commandments released? Like
97. 97. Life After Death.
97.
Did you say late 2000s?
No, I said 2000.
Life After Death came out in 97. That was Biggie's double album. It was
97. Hey, I'm not Beezopedia.
It was on.
I'm not FIFOpedia. There's no such thing.
It was on disc 2.
You're not even the Bictionary.
It was on disc 2. Disc 2 of Life After Death.
Sonically, it didn't sound like a continuation. So I give you that's why I slightly agree with you. But I do like how it sounded. And obviously, like I said, the other 10 commandments make sense in today's age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go through all of them. When he was talking about don't post your shit on social media. Do you know how many motherfuckers get caught up on some dumb shit because you're posting on social media?
Yeah, I like how he kept it with the today's
Yes,
time.
You know what I'm saying? And he even said, you know, Big ain't have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so I love the relevancy of that track, you know what I'm saying? And they all made sense. Make sure that your team eat like you eat. When I heard it, I'm like, damn, no other rapper has done it. They have who?
I know for a fact I've heard at least 2 or 3 rappers do this.
Okay. Now,
I have to get back to you.
Okay, fine. Names. Even if you don't know the name, do you feel Benny did it the best?
I think Benny's made the most sense. Because the other guys were just doing it because it was like a cool thing to do. Whereas Benny, coming from that world, what he was saying made sense.
I haven't heard any other person try to do another
copyright or somebody did.
You know what I'm saying? Another 10 commandments. But to me, I was like, well, shit. Who else in hip hop outside of a Pusha, maybe a Freddie? You know what I'm saying? But realistically, Benny's that guy. He's from New York. He comes from that. That's what he raps about. Who else?
Well, I like that he wasn't like giving him the stereotypical shit. Like he was actually putting him up on game.
On game.
Well, you know, instead of buying, you know, these things that if shit go bad, you're gonna have to turn around and sell, like invest in something that grows over time.
If you talk to any hustler, they'll always tell you that. Yeah, you might think that we're dumb as hell buying gold and cars and shit, but shit. Tomorrow when my plug phone ain't fucking ringing no more, I can sell all this shit and be back good. You know what I'm saying? So buy shit that you can sell. Like is that not the ultimate definition of hustling? I love that about this project. Another joint I really want to talk about was Tyson versus Ali. Let me put the goddamn phone down.
Oh.
Let me put the phone down real quick.
He didn't slam the phone. He didn't shook the table.
He sure did. You got a case on that? He does.
I do.
He does.
God damn, he does.
The hook didn't need to be overly done.
Okay.
Tyson versus Ali, nigga.
Okay.
Tyson versus Ali. And it's Benny versus Conway.
Yes.
And these niggas was just spitting bars going back and forth.
They were.
Saying, hey, we're 2 of the best to fucking do this shit. We're gonna go on the same track. And it is what it is. Who won is up to you to decide.
Damn.
I love that shit, bro. Like, I love the fact that Griselda doesn't shy away from competition, inside or external. And this is the prime example. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many labels would want to wait 2, 3, 4 months to release your shit because your counterpart just dropped. Them niggas like 2 weeks, drop it. Don't matter. We're not in competition with ourselves. Tyson versus Ali is the epitome of what Griselda is and how they accomplished what they
I
accomplished.
thought it was funny. He was like, he was talking about people comparing people from the same group. And FIFA opened the video comparing people from the same group.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
like, dang, he just said that in Tyson versus Ali. I don't know you weren't necessarily doing it in a negative way, but it was just interesting that he actually said that, because that stood out to me, because we were we actually just had that debate on the Conway stuff, a little mini debate on the Conway about who's more versatile and this, that, and the other. So I was like, dang, he just said that shit. But Tyson Ali is probably my favorite joint on here. I love that shit, man, and I loved on here how he bigged up like all his peoples too. I forgot which one it was. He was like, West Side gave him the plan or the formula, the blueprint. He said, but I did all that shit.
Yep.
You know, he said,
I made myself a millionaire.
Yeah, I made myself a millionaire.
Yep.
But yeah, he broke down like who did what, and he was like, yeah, y'all right. You know, he said West Side was the brains behind all this shit. And
Conway was the silliest with the lyrics.
Yep.
And I forgot what, and he said he's the star.
He's the star.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
Yeah, Benny's the star. And I also love when he said, I'm West Side's best investment. That cocky shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all throughout this project, bro, Benny's talking his shit. And then Guerrero,
Yeah, that one's crazy.
bruh, like he brought back all of the titles. He made it make sense. Look, you up and coming hip hop artists. There's a reason why, like, they might rap something and then make it a whole song title, because they'll come back and elaborate on it. It's just beautiful, man. Benny understood the assignment and he executed. I'm done.
This nigga finna cry.
I'm done. What'd you
Felt
say?
like it.
You still
I
man.
was waiting for it.
Yeah.
The thug tear.
It definitely lived up to my expectations, what I was going into this album, because like I said, I love Tana Talk 3 so much. Coming to this one, naming it part 4, I'm like, okay, he better come with it. He better come with it. And yeah, he did. From the features, with that J. Cole feature, I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit ready for the new album or whatever. So that, you know, of course. And I think I mentioned it when we was doing the Conway, when I was talking about the Conway album. I'm like, yeah, up next is Benny. So yeah, he didn't disappoint, man. I think I'm glad he stuck with the production crew that he did with the last album. I already know what I'm gonna go for.
He was like, y'all. He said, y'all know what y'all want to hear.
Yeah,
He said, I know what y'all want to hear.
So I throughout the whole theme of this album, you know, I got like Benny talking his shit. Like I said, we knew Conway was good at doing what he doing. I feel like this definitely highlighted, regardless if you're tired of it or not. Benny did what he did on his album, and he executed it to the fullest. And the features did their thing. Stove God, West Side put his flair on his joint. Yeah.
Nigga, oh my God.
Boldy
That sounded
James,
so amazing.
38 Special, shout out to 38 Special. They also got mixtapes together and stuff too. So the chemistry was there. Shout out to Conway and Tyson versus Ali. I think that was a perfect name for them two to be going back and forth.
Two heavyweights.
I don't know if it was anything where I was just like,
What about Diddy? Did you like Diddy at the end of that joint?
Diddy wasn't on the original 10 Crack Commandments like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is Diddy on here talking? We really don't need the Diddy talking. Like I said, I understand the connection.
Yeah,
but
I'm with
it's
you.
just we didn't need that.
I think it didn't need it, but I think it validated it being okay to do it.
And I think that's probably why he did it.
And that's
Yeah,
why I understand. That's why I understand that connection. Diddy co-signed it, whatever, you know. But I didn't really need him talking on stuff at the end. I think that, like I mentioned to you when you was talking, that the missed opportunity should have been the Primo beat, because he's round over Primo beats before. So it's not like they haven't worked before. But all that hard shit I was expecting, Benny executed. And I mean, he had his time to do the burdens of proofs and all the other stuff, and I'm glad it's like he brought it back home with this one. Because like Ken said, he knew we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And he delivered.
I gotta add this one track too. This is that bump in the whip shit. Zoe's Revenge. That beat by Alchemist, that nigga fool.
Yeah.
With them horns and that bounce that he gave Benny.
Yeah,
man. Because to me, that was the one track that sounded the most different out of everything else. Because nothing else really had bounce to it like that. Everything else was gritty, grimy.
Yeah.
This is that joint that was still hard but bouncy. It was much needed on this project. Always.
Oh yeah.
He did his thing, man, and I'm like you. Tana Talk 3 is like that shit's up there for me, bro.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking up there. It's still probably my favorite version, favorite one out of this, but I didn't want to necessarily compare the two because I know they're like different spots now. And I think this is Benny still talking that shit. I thought about Pusha T, because you know, like, when you're just good at what you do, why can't you just be good at what you fucking do?
Yeah.
And I thought about Pusha as I was listening to this, and I was like, man, he's just giving me like that shit that I wanted, man, in terms of just that hard rapping, grimy shit. And over Alchemist and Derrick, and I'm like, man, he's killing it. But he's gonna do space now. You know, now it's like, you know, I'm gonna go get Diddy, and we're in an elevated space as well. He didn't go too far off the track. I think he just went, you know, to like, we're gonna take it a step further. We're gonna get Diddy and J. Cole. But it's still with 38 Special and Boldy and
Stove God.
and Stove God, still my dudes, man. I could just put it on and just let it ride. And that was the beauty of it, man. And I loved every minute of it. As I was thinking about this, I was driving. I was like, man, Burden of Proof wasn't necessarily my favorite project by him, but like I said, I wanted to give him room to expand the wings and grow and do what he wanted to do and make that stuff, because it showed that he can make that type of music.
Yeah,
this is the Benny the Butcher that I like. I'm glad that, you know, he can be in both worlds like that, and it still works for him. I think he's definitely on the verge. He is the star, but I don't think we even fully seen it yet. And I think there could be another level that he can go. It's going to be interesting to watch his stardom kind of go from here. But to come back and just give people like me, whether he intended to do that or not, throwback Benny, so to speak, after he's been experimenting with some other stuff, was dope, man. And this shit just ride, bro. From Johnny P's Caddy, which hearing this on the album, the placement is just
better.
Perfect.
It's better, yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Sometimes if the placement of the single is good, it makes the single even better. Like it makes you appreciate the song in the context of the album a lot better.
From Bad, Super Plug, fucking Boldy was so nice on here. Tyson versus Ali, already we talked about that. Uncle Ben. You know, Guerrero.
Uncle Bun,
my bad.
Bun B, nigga. Bun B, get it
Uncle
right,
Bun,
nigga. Underground King, nigga.
Yeah. Buster Britt Nick, like this shit was fucking dope, man. And I think when you have the Tana Talk series, like, you can't slouch. You gotta come fucking correct. And that's what he did, man. And this shit was fucking dope.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody has said so far. This is a great project. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad he went back to that kind of grimy gutter Benny, but I think there were still glimpses that he's changed up a little bit. Like he's adding new flows and he's doing things a little bit differently, but he's still at essence that same Benny. But I agree with y'all saying Johnny P's Caddy fits perfectly. Started off this album back 2 times was just it's so damn good. What do you say? I cook fancy in the kitchen like Gordon Ramsay. Something along those lines that I thought was just a fucking hilarious line. Super Plug. I mean, always him and Alchemist together are just a perfect matchup. That really minimal piano. This was actually, I want to say, even a little bit more layered than I've heard Alchemist do lately, which I thought was dope. There was like all these different soundscapes and all this other stuff going on in the background. It just sounded amazing. Yeah, Uncle Bun, that beat was mean as shit. That's almost what 38 Special. Yes. Fuck, I think he said I got 2 clips. That's enough shots for you and your alter ego. Yeah. It's like, man, that's such a good fucking bar, bro. He says something about turning this one brick into a family of white bitches. But I just forget the line before it. But that was still a funny ass line to me. Tobey's Revenge. Like, I'm glad you brought it up because nobody had said it before. That was the one song where I was like, I would never in my life, I would never hear this beat and think, oh, Alchemist did that. So this is another notch to this discussion of Alchemist needs to chill out because he's making it to where he can do anything and it's making it harder for other producers to make a mark. Where did this beat come from?
Super bouncy.
Where did that come from? That doesn't even sound like something I would expect from Alchemist, and it's such a dope beat. To be his age, to be in the game this long and to be this diversified, it's just weird.
Like we are witnessing a crazy run from this guy, man. And like this is crazy.
We're living in a time that people need to think about because they're gonna remember this later.
Yes.
Just like people look back with Dilla and they're like, man, remember all that stuff that Dilla was doing?
Yeah.
Y'all are gonna look back in like 10, 15 years. That's given if Alchemist is not still doing this. And you're gonna be like, that motherfucker was doing something crazy. Guerrero with Westside, I think they're just such a dope matchup. This is a little bit controversial, but I feel like I like Benny with Westside a little bit more than I like Benny with Conway. Only because with Benny and Conway, I feel like their styles are kind of similar. And I think that they sound amazing together too. But for some reason, when you bring Westside into
contrast,
this, it's just that contrast works. It's like I love Ghost and Raekwon rap together.
Mm-hmm.
But when Ghost and ODB rap together, it's like, oh, this is different and weird, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel whenever they brings Westside. It's just such a good contrast. There's nothing really else to say here, man. All of these songs
Yeah, it's nothing really.
are really
Yeah.
fucking good. But going back to Throwy's Revenge, I just realized I didn't talk about Benny. The way he switched his flow up there was just dope, because when it came on, I was like, this is a weird ass beat, but I like it, and it's got a little bit of a bounce that I wouldn't expect Benny to go over. So again, I had given the 1 earlier. I forgot about the 2. 1, I would never expect this to be from Alchemist. 2, I would never hear this and be like, yeah, Benny, give that to Benny the Butcher.
Right.
Never.
Right.
But Benny fucking killed it. So yes, this was a fantastic project. There was not a moment on here, looking at the fucking track list, there was not a moment where any of these 40 minutes were wasted.
It wasn't nothing where I was just like,
right.
Yeah.
This was really, really solid. So yeah, man, good fucking job, Benny. And yeah, all the features did their thing, man. All the features did their thing. So
The last 3 projects from each one. Hitlerware, Hermes, 8.
Yeah, the double.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the double album. We loved it. Why? Because it brought out what we love in West Side. Like, West Side of the crew is the weird, artsy, you don't know what the fuck he's gonna say, where he's gonna go.
Unorthodox
motherfucker that just works and he don't miss. Then Conway comes out and it's like, damn, we love him because he's the guy that can literally expand across all emotions, but still keep it gritty. And then we love Benny because he's the grittiest overall. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the other 2 are not gritty, but who does the grittiest shit the best? Benny. And it's just so crazy that all 3 of them, their last project highlights what they do best. Even
stay in your lane.
Huh?
Gotta stay in your lane.
They're staying in their lane. You know, like West Side is the curator of the Griselda shit. You know, the artsy, the this and the that. And that's why his music sounds like that. And Conway he's a deep thinker and his music reflects that. And Benny's like, nigga, I'm the star. Nigga, I'm from the street. Nigga, what you gonna do? Like, and this reflects that. Outside of TDE's run, we have not seen a crew stay true to form through multiple projects and us love them for it the way we do. Like, this is, in my opinion, outside of TDE, is unprecedented. We haven't seen a collective put out this amount of work that we still love every time that they drop something. Like, and we've even had internal conversations. Another Griselda project, nigga, we gonna review that? I feel like oftentimes we're doing a disservice if we don't. There's no way we couldn't not do Conway. There's no way we couldn't do Westside. There's no way we couldn't do Benny.
Speaking of getting old, I was trying to remember this in the Cannibals Covan class review. You guys become a patient to watch that. But I think it was Vast there that said it was a line, Halloween Thugs, I'm gonna ask you or something like that. You remember that one? Mm-hmm. I forgot it now because people were just talking about it. It was something you said. Because when you said you were getting old, I was like, I wanted to remember that line in that review. So y'all got a little bonus here there, because that was one of my last line from there. But anyway.
It don't feel all the way right doing this review without Ryan. It don't. Especially off of that Stove God. Like, I want to hear him freak out on that joint.
Well, that's his fault.
Even Sonny said dang. Even Sonny said dang. Sonny even said dang.
Hey, we listen to cold albums, boy, kid. That is a cold album out here, huh? Hey, man, if he dies, he dies. You know what I'm saying?
Favorite tags, give me Johnny P's Caddy, give me Back 2 Times, 10 More Commandments, give me Tyson versus Ali, and give me Thoway's Revenge.
Give me Tyson versus Ali, Buster Bricknick, give me Back 2 Times, Thawry's Revenge, Guerrero.
My favorite tracks are give me Tyson versus Ali, give me Back 2 Times, Thawry's Revenge, give me Billy Joe, Weekends in the Paris.
I'm going Johnny P's Caddy, going Back 2 Times, I'm going 10 More Crack Commandments, I'm going Uncle Bun, definitely, and I'm going Thawry's Revenge.
Benny, if you watching, Tana Talk, bro. You understood the assignment. It was executed. Shout out to Derringer. Shout out to Alchemist BZ. What was the other producer as well?
Beat Butcher.
Shout out to Beat Butcher. Amazing project. I think you know that. That's the reason why you put it out. Why you named the Tana Talk for it. Bro, you done been giving me what I wanted. Burning the Proof, I wanted that. Tana Talk 4, I wanted that. Your features, I've been wanted that. The consistency, the volume of music, I definitely want that. There's nothing that you guys as a collective or individually have not given to the game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have given everything to the game. I'm here for it, bro. I know you probably got like another 8 projects dropping this year. I'm here for all of it.
Benny, if you're watching, amazing job with this work. Thank you. This was a good project. Glad you followed up strong with another solid project from Tana Talk 3. Can't really say what you're gonna do next. I don't know what you're gonna do next, but of course, whatever you do next, I'll make sure I check it out. And hopefully you still working with Alchemist. Hope you still working with Derringer and all them. You know, even if you're not, even if you're working with something else, you want to expand, I'm gonna still check it out. But other than that, man, this piece of art right here was great, man. So great job and keep it up.
Love the album, man. I thought this shit was great. You know, I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, man, you know, he's kind of strayed off and did some other things, which is dope. This showed me that you still here. Like, you still here with that shit. And that's what I like the most. It's like, you know, you can do both. And it just speaks to your versatility, your talent, and that's dope. And I think this is great. And, you know, but shit, you just give me a EP or so with shit like this, I'll be happy, man. You can do whatever you want to do. You can still do that, but you know what I mean. But good shit, man. Dope album, man. Keep up the good work.
Benny, ain't got shit to say, man. Great job, as always. Great job. You keep handing us incredible work, man, and you haven't slipped yet. So I think that that's commendable, it's respectable, and I'm glad people are noticing the work that you and your friends, you and your brothers, you and your family, you and your cohorts, however you want to put it, are putting in. And I think it's really, really cool to watch something like this. Great job following up Tana Talk 3 with something that, in my opinion, is just as good. So I'm really interested in what you do next.
Today we here talking about our favorite artist's worst album. There was a moment in time on this project that should have been iconic.
And I think a lot of people actually really enjoy that album. Just for me personally, it was just a little too commercial for me.
And you know, this was back when you brought albums, so you like, you know, you try to psych yourself like, oh, you know, this is a good album. You know, I spent my $15.99. It was worth it. But
I feel like my favorite list goes in people's opposite order.
It was at that point I was like, all right, he done. He ain't got it no more.